my dear students. Today I am Dr. Avijit Majumdar, Director of Noida Institute of Engineering and Technology, Pharmacy Institute, Greater Noida, presenting before you a new subject which we are calling as pharmaceutical microbiology. In my today's class, we will be discussing with you about the branches, scopes and importance of this particular subject of microbiology. Now, the first question is, what is microbiology? What do we mean by the term microbiology? Just to break the word into three parts. One is micro, other one is bio and other one is logy. Therefore, you will easily understand the meaning of the word microbiology. Therefore, microbiology means it is the science which deals with the microorganisms. What do I mean by science deals with microorganisms? Microorganisms, we know that we are having bacteria, we are having fungus, we are having algae, we are having protozoa. Therefore, the science which deals with bacteria, algae, protozoa, virus is what we are calling as microbiology. Now, this subject is having a tremendous importance in the current context, because as for the last almost 6 to 8 months, we are all confined in our rooms. Why? Because the episode of corona infection is spreading. This corona infection is nothing but an application of the subject of microbiology. Basically, it is a virus which is infecting a large number of people, due to which, just to spread, just to stop the communication of infection across the society, it has been decided to maintain proper hygiene. You are using mask, you are using a sanitizer, just to keep your hands clean, you are using a mask to prevent the spreading of the virus. Now, let me first explain what branches microbiology have. Now, on the basis of taxonomic characteristics and on the basis of application, we can classify microbiology into two broad divisions. One is what we are calling as the basic microbiology, and the other one we are calling as applied microbiology. Basic microbiology is mainly dealing with the taxonomic characteristics. Whenever we are studying about a bacteria, we are calling it as bacteriology. Whenever you are studying about fungus, we are calling it as mycology. Whenever you are studying about virus, you are calling it as virology. Whenever you are studying about protozoa, you are calling as protozoology, and whenever you are talking about algae, we are calling it as phycology. Now, these are the basic science. How bacteria looks like, what is the composition of the bacterial cell, that is what we are studying under bacteriology. Similarly, we study for fungus, similarly we study for virus, similarly we study for protozoa and algae. Next, on the other part is the application part. See, whenever we are studying any subject, the first and foremost important aspect which we should take care is how it is applied in our society, how it is applied in our daily life. Keeping that perspective in our mind, we are dividing applied microbiology into the following 6 divisions. What are they? First one is medical microbiology, second one is pharmaceutical and industrial microbiology, the third one is microbial biotechnology, next one is food microbiology, next one is agricultural microbiology, and lastly we have environmental microbiology. So, if you look at this particular chart, you will realize that microbiology is applied in every sphere of human life. It is not that microbiology is restricted to a particular domain. It is applied in the field of medicine, it is applied in the field of pharmacy, it is applied in the field of biotechnology, it is applied in the field of dairy industry, it is applied in agriculture, it is applied in environmental aspects also. Now, let us first study what role microbiology has to play in the area of medical microbiology. Now, in this particular area, there are two questions which needs to be addressed. One is, who is creating the disease? Number one. Number two, how is the disease spreaded or manifested? And the third is, how you can control that particular disease. The answer to these three questions is basically what we are dealing with medical microbiology. For your easy understanding, I am repeating once again, who is creating a disease, how is the disease being spread, and how one can control this particular disease is what we are dealing with medical microbiology. Therefore, the term medical means doctors. The fundamental role of medical microbiology is the diagnosis of a disease, that is, we need to isolate the particular microorganism, then we need to identify the microorganism. Say for example, you are doing a sputum study and then you are carrying out certain isolation process, after which we are getting say Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So, the step is isolation and identification of infectious microorganism. Second is, what measure will you take to treat that particular disease? Now, whenever we are talking of measurement for treatment of disease, the first and foremost task is you need to know what is the disease, what is the organism which has caused the disease, and then you have to identify the drug, you have to identify the process by which you can frame a pathway by which the disease can be cured, and that is what the doctor does. The role of a physician is, he will first try to identify which disease you are suffering from, and depending on his conclusion, he will prescribe you certain medicines. What is the next role of microbiology? The next role of this medical microbiology is, it tracks, it keep a record of how a microorganism is creating a disease, and it varies from one organism to another organism. Let me give you one or two examples to illustrate for your easy understanding. Now, the way Mycobacterium tuberculosis will create an infection in your body, that is tuberculosis disease in your body, obviously that will be different from how Salmonella typhi will create a typhoid injection. That is, it varies from one disease to the other. So, medical microbiology teaches you, it guides you to identifies you with the mechanism by which microbes are causing the disease in our body. Medical microbiology does not stop here. It also helps you to identify the measures to prevent the communicable disease. That is what you are doing today. Whenever you are having some viral outbreak, as I told you earlier, you are using a sanitizer. Moment you are using a sanitizer, that is, you are washing your hands with soap, just to clean, just to remove the presence of any virus, any bacteria from your hand. Why you are using a mask? You are using a mask because you do not want the virus to penetrate your body and create an infection you. That is, this particular medical microbiology provides you certain measures, certain guidelines by which you are in a position to prevent the communication of the disease. Next is very important aspect, pharmaceutical and industrial microbiology. That is how microbiology is applied in pharmacy, how microbiology is applied in industries. Particularly, let me start with pharmaceuticals. As we know that when do you take a drug? You take a drug whenever you are ill. That is, your body defense mechanism is not proper, you are not well, that is the reason why you take a drug. Therefore, the drugs which you are manufacturing, the drugs which you are preparing, particularly let us talk of parenterals, we need to be very, very cautious that the product is not having a single microorganism. If it has, automatically instead of curing you, will make you further ill. Therefore, the first area is evaluation of bioburden in the production area. Question is, how are you going to evaluate the bioburden? Very simple. Say there is a room where the production process is going on. You take a petri dish where you put certain medias. These medias are nothing but a source of nutrition for the growth of bacteria. If there is bacteria, you are opening the petri dish, keeping it in various corners of the room. If there is bacteria, the bacteria will try to be adhering itself to the media. From the media, they will get nutrition, automatically they will grow. Moment they grows, after incubation, you will be getting some colonies. You know that the media or the air is not properly sterilized. Therefore, in the production area, we want to measure the bioburden. Now, say for example, in the production area, you are getting certain microorganisms. What will be your role? Your next role will be, you have to make the area free from microorganisms. Now, whenever I am talking of make the area free from microorganism means, the microorganisms which are present, they need to be killed. Now, killing of microorganism is nothing but what you are calling as sterilization. Sterilization is the process by which we are killing or inhibiting or removing the microorganism. Now, there are various techniques which I will be teaching later on. One is a physical method, other one is a chemical method, that is by use of physical instruments or by the use of chemicals we can control the microorganism. Now, say for example, you are carrying out the sterilization process, the next task is you have to be sure that the sterilization process which you have adopted is proper and the media, the area where you are producing is properly sterilized. It is not only applied in pharmaceutical industries or any particular production area. Say for example, let us talk of the hospitals. In the hospitals, the physicians, the nurses, they are using gloves. Those gloves needs to be sterilized. The scissors needs to be sterilized. The catgut which is utilized during the operation, that needs to be sterilized. And after the process of sterilization, we need to carry out what we are calling as sterility testing. Sterility testing is a process by which you can ensure that the sterilization which you have adopted has been successful, has been instrumental in killing all the bacteria, and now you are in a position to give a product which is absolutely free from microorganisms. Now, as I have told you earlier that for parenterals, we need to be very careful that not a single bacteria must be present. And that is after the parenterals are produced, we need to do a test which is known as bacterial endotoxin test. In common terminology, we use it as LAL test, that is Limulus amoebocyte lyset test. Next is the evaluation of disinfectant. In your house, daily in the morning, your maid servant is using a phenyl. In the hospitals, in your industries, various disinfectants are commonly used to kill the microorganism. Your role in the quality control division is you need to evaluate the efficacy, the power of the disinfectants also. And commonly, we use a test which is known as phenol coefficient test, and in other words, There is another test which we are using, that is known as Chick-Martin test. These are the two tests which are commonly utilized in industries to make or evaluate the disinfection efficacy. Next is the efficacy test of preservative. The pharmaceutical preparations which you are making, the product which you are making, the food product which you are using, they are protected from microbial spoilage by use of certain chemicals, and those chemicals we are calling as preservative. Preservative protects your product. It increases the shelf life. Shelf life means the period up to which you can use the product. So, in order to measure the efficacy of the preservative, what we do is we add various microorganisms in the product, and over a period of time, say after 5 hours, 10 hours, 24 hours, we evaluate how many organisms they are surviving. That is, we are measuring the survival rate. In ideal situation, the microorganism should gradually go down. Next is the assay of antibiotics. Now, first question is, what is antibiotics? What do we mean by the antibiotics? Anti means against, biotic means organism. That is, those drugs which are produced by microorganisms in very small quantity and is used to kill other microorganisms in very large quantity, that is what we are calling as antibiotics. Now, these antibiotics which are produced by microorganisms, the vitamins, say vitamin B12, which are produced by microorganisms, we have to estimate the potency of the antibiotics, the potency of the vitamins by the application of the science of microbiology. Microbiology has a tremendous important role in the production of various drugs. As I have told you that important drugs like penicillin, streptomycin, they are very effectively produced by microorganisms. As you all know, way back in 1929, there was a scientist called Sir Alexander Fleming, who discovered penicillin. In fact, penicillin was produced by a fungus which is known as Penicillium notatum, and this penicillin, which is produced as a metabolite by Penicillium notatum, is used to inhibit various gram-positive bacteria. Now, penicillin, streptomycin, tetracycline, these gamut of antibiotics which are nothing but magic bullets, the drugs which you are taking daily. Whenever we are suffering from infection, the doctors are asking you to take streptomycin, they ask you to take tetracyclines. These drugs are produced by microorganisms themselves. Say for example, penicillin produced by Penicillium notatum, streptomycin by Streptomyces griseus, and so on. Vitamins, B12 is very effectively produced by microorganisms. Next is the production of vaccines. Say tetanus vaccines, DPT vaccines, BCG vaccines, they are all of microbial origin. Some are of bacterial origin, some are of viral origin. In fact, BCG vaccine, the full name is Bacillus calmette-guerin vaccine. This is a vaccine which is produced by Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and it is the only live bacterial vaccine which is in the market till today. The microorganism has been successful, they have been instrumental in producing various enzymes like amylase, protease, lipase, and so on. We have produced steroids like testosterone, progesterone with the help of microbes. Various hormones like human insulin, it is another product which is obtained from the microorganisms. So, you can realize by now what important role microorganism has to play in our daily life. Next is the industrial aspects. Now, whenever we are working in the industry, at the end of the day, water is generated, which is highly containing carbon materials. Water is generated which is highly containing carbon materials. We need to control. Now, anaerobic bacteria are there which decomposes the organic matter to various simplified molecules like acids, alcohols and amines. Cyanides, which is obtained from the industrial waste for metal extraction by mechanical engineering firms, they are very easily degraded out by Streptomyces lavridulae. Say for example, a sheep is carrying out taking oil from one country to other. Due to any mishap, the oil has spilled over water in the sea. What we do is, we are spreading some microorganisms. The microorganisms are utilizing that oil as their food, and automatically the pollution gets restricted out. Therefore, the microorganism has a very important role to play in the process of controlling of industrial waste degradation, which we are calling as biodegradation. Why biodegradation? Because we are controlling the degradation with the help of biological organisms. Next is microbial biotechnology. Now, we are producing penicillin, we are producing streptomycin, we are producing humulin and so on. We have produced insulin also. Now, the process what happens is, sometimes the product becomes, yield becomes less, but in industry whenever we want to survive, the yield must be very high, otherwise it will not see the day of the light. So, what we do is, we have to make a minor change in the genetic sequence, which we are calling as vector. E. coli is commonly used as a vector. Now, moment you make a change in the gene, automatically the productivity, the power of the microorganism to produce the product gets increased, and when it gets increased, it produces a huge amount of product. Your productivity increases, automatically profitability increases. Therefore, microbial biotechnology is an area where we make certain manipulation in the genes of the bacteria or the vector, and automatically the productivity increases. Next is application of microbiology in the area of food. The food which you take, bread, you take yogurt, you take cheese, they are all nothing but product of microorganisms. Microorganisms has been successful in producing various foods like cheese, like yogurt. By the process of fermentation technology, we obtain beer, we obtain wine, they are marvelously produced by microorganisms. So, you can realize as on today, the microorganisms play a very important role, not only to protect you from diseases, but to make you survive. They provide you food. So, they are not villain, in fact, they are the hero. Microorganisms also produces various organic solvents, though it is not coming under the jurisdiction of food, but whenever you are producing any drug, we need some solvents. Solvents like ethanol, solvents like butanol. These organic solvents, they are all produced by microorganisms. Now, as I have told you that these food products, as we know, they have a very high tendency to degrade out. That is the reason why whenever you are taking a pack of bread, we see expiry date. Why? Because the food, the bread undergoes degradation. Say for example, you are purchasing a can of juice, you see an expiry date. Why? Because these juice are nothing but carbohydrates. The microorganisms require carbohydrate, they require water, they require nitrogen for their growth and supply. So, in juice they are getting a huge amount of water, they are getting carbon source. So, what is happening? The microorganism is multiplying. Moment you are allowing it to multiply, automatically your product undergoes degradation. And to protect the spoilage of food, we use preservative. Preservative basically are chemicals which are used to control the microorganisms. Next is the area of agriculture. India is a country where agriculture is widely used. Microorganisms are used as biofertilizers. See, chemical fertilizers you can use, but chemical fertilizers are pesticides particularly, they are sometimes toxic. So, microorganisms, they are used as biofertilizers. There are some soil bacteria as well as fungus which are forming a relationship with plant roots, thereby they help in the fixing of nitrogen or phosphorus, and automatically when these nitrogens are fixed by the roots, automatically fertility increases. Therefore, microorganisms have a very important role to play as far as agricultural area is concerned. These biocontrol agents are very safe as compared to the chemical pesticides. So, if you are taking some vegetables which are filled up with chemical pesticides, what will happen? Your body develops resistance, and that is one of the global problems which the entire world is facing. Next is the application of microbiology in the environmental sector. Now, whenever we are talking of environmental sector, soil, water and air, these are the three principal components of atmosphere: soil, water and air. Now, the soil, it contains a huge amount of microorganisms. Water, the water which you drink, if you are not careful, you will, along with water, you will be drinking some microorganisms also. That is the reason why we have to be very careful. In your house, you are fitting an RO. Sometimes we boil water before drinking. Why? Because moment you boil, the microorganisms are killed. Moment you are passing the water through RO, we are having filters. The filters prevents the organism to pass through. You are having an UV lamp. The UV lamp protects your water from microbial attack. Next is air, very, very important, because if the air is containing microorganism, say for example, let us talk of the hospital sector. A person is critically ill, a person is undergoing a surgery. Whenever a person is undergoing a surgery, if the air of the operation theatre is unsterile, what will happen? The air will come in contact with the blood, it will create septicemia. Therefore, we have special precautions as far as this air microorganisms is concerned. Now, let us the scopes of microbiology. After studying, you have seen they are applied in hospitals, they are applied in research and development for discovering new drugs. Corona also we are trying to develop a vaccine, production of pharmaceutical and vaccines, pathological laboratories where we are trying to isolate and identify a particular microorganisms. We are going for quality control of drugs, particularly the assay of vitamins, the assay of antibiotics, which I have discussed with you a few minutes back. Food and dairy industries, particularly we need to preserve our food, we need to protect our food. Therefore, as a B.Pharm graduate, I personally feel the study of microbiology has a tremendous importance. This subject is having a tremendous importance in your daily life, in your future career, where particularly I will talk of in the hospitals where the application of this area of microbiology is tremendous nowadays. With this, I am coming to the end of the today's class on the branches, scope, application, importance of microbiology. And please remember that this degree of importance will gradually increase with another 10 to 20 years down the line, because lot of researches are going on across the country to control various dreadful diseases which are created by bacteria or fungus or virus. Okay, thank you very much.